I have to figure out how to handle my headphones better, dude. How's your volume sound?
Yeah, I got you perfectly.
Oh, that's nice, dude. Don't you wish you had kind of better lighting like I did to accentuate your features? Because right now, I'm not going to lie, you look like a blurry old man.
I feel gray. I'm in the clouds, which I didn't order. This is not Malibu that I signed up for, Chief.
Dude, are you ready to get your body fat tested on Thursday?
Mr. 15? Yeah.
Well, what I'm thinking is I'm going to contact this place. We're going to do our Hyrox sim first thing in the morning. Oh, thanks, Chief. Just press next. Okay. We're going to do our Hyrox testing first thing in the morning. And, show? Live viewers comment in the show. Nobody's commented yet? Well, whatever. We're going to do our Hyrox sim, and then we're going to go there, and hopefully you will be at 14% body fat.
I think I'm under 13. I got to be.
I don't know,
I got to beat Marshall.
We spent a lot of time. Dude, that video of you doing the lunges yesterday, like your thighs look really thick. You're starting to get a dad bod in the best way possible. Like I wanted to talk about today. We're basically interviewing a aging Hyrox athlete. One of the most dangerous categories. Those dads. They're those dads that just won't give up.
That's right. We crush. We're inspiring families.
Yeah, dude. Tell us a little bit about
strapping neighbors.
Is there something wrong with our comment board? Because usually there's so many comments in here. Click on comment to show it on screen. Oh, now I get that. Somebody just write a comment and tell us if our live board is working or not. Because usually this does. Like, oh, see, there we go. We got our first comment. I was worried because a big part of the show is people are going to be heckling you. Okay.
Well,
I got to ask, dude, you've been coming out here for 4 years.
That's right.
And what would you say for you has been the biggest difference since day one coming out here as an athlete and then also the experience?
I mean, touch wood, I'm still here for a few days, but this is the first time I haven't been sick.
Yeah.
So that's a huge positive. I mean,
wow, dude.
Just like I've been doing a lot more running over the winter. So I increased the volume a lot, and I've done a couple of races already in the last 2 months. So I just felt like as long as the jet lag didn't kill me too much, I'd be able to handle 90% of what we're doing. So yeah, I finally feel pretty fit, which is nice. Previous times when I've come out, I've had injuries, that horrible calf strain that was on and off for like a year, maybe 15 months. And yeah, just now I've had like a nice 6 months of just training, stacking days, proper deloads. And now I feel like I can finally get after it. So although I'm going to be 42 in June, I'm actually starting to feel pretty good for a while. So the experience, I mean, besides the weather, obviously everything's great. I mean, we've had like so many groups of guys come out and train with us over the years. And I always think the last group can't be topped. But this last group was truly special.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever laughed so hard, so often. It was hysterical.
I think Jeremy is probably my new favorite addition. Jeremy by far is my new favorite addition. He is bizarre beyond belief, but he holds a level of confidence. For where he's at physically, he has a level of confidence that's so far above that. He's got like a blimp attached to a string that takes his ego up into the air. Nice work, Tito.
I FaceTimed Jeremy yesterday, and he was just sat in a bar in Indiana. And, he's just shaved his mustache off. So he was just there shooting shit with the barmaid. And he was talking about coming back out again, how jealous he was that I was still here. But his face just makes me laugh. Every time I look at him, I just smile. So Then you have Kyle, who's like, he could be his brother, to be honest. His fitter, leaner brother.
Kyle's had the biggest transformation of anybody I've seen ever come out to these camps. Kyle went from not being able to run under a 6-minute mile to now Kyle Kyle is literally like bashing back-to-back 6-minute miles for a marathon, half marathon.
Yeah, he's crushing it. He's really leaned out. He's super strong as well. When we did DT, I only saw him drop the bar for like 10, 15-second intervals, and he was back through it again. That workout crushed me. Like DT, that's the stuff I need to practice.
Dude, you know what broke my heart when you said this? You said running. So I thought about this the other day, and I've been doing tons of research on just like all of our splits over time. There's that website, High Results. That's pretty cool. Dude, we used to be really, really strong athletes that ran, and now Hyrox has become a runner sport that is just skating past all the strength obstacles. And the biggest reference I have for this was when we did the Elite 8 Invitational before the Elite 15 was even a thing. It was in 2021 in Dallas, and they invited a bunch of CrossFitters. And the guy who took second place, his name's Eric Hinman. And he's a good, like, fit endurance athlete, don't get me wrong, but very much so predominantly a CrossFit athlete. And the sleds were, it was David Magida and I duking it out. And David Magida is no slouch when it comes to strength. Like, he and I were doing obstacle course racing, and we were the bigger guys. He loved to bench press and squat and all that kind of stuff. He owns his own gym. Like, he's a strong guy. Like, he doesn't avoid the shit. He got absolutely flatlined by how hard the sleds were. And I'm sure everybody who's listening to this is probably a Hyrox junkie. With them changing the turf, you and I have had this discussion.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that if you do the math on this, the turf is not going to match what's going on. It's not going to be able to match what's going on with what's going on the carpet, because turf has more air in it, like more particles of air in the space. And what that means is there's going to be less friction, which means it's going to go faster. And you're now going to watch an entirely different generation of athletes step into this sport, because it's my belief, and I'm not saying Hyrox is bad for this. Like, it's good that they're standardizing the sport. But if it goes any lighter than it goes now, because of the surface space, they're going to have to increase weight. And it's my guess that they're going to have to put 2 plates on each sled. So if you think about that, some of these places have like 30 sleds across. So that's 60 sleds total. And you're looking at 2 plates times 60. Like weighing 55 kilos a piece. And I just don't think that they're going to be willing to do that and ship those plates all over the world to venues like this, because 60 plates would be an entire another shipping container and just so much more logistics. So I don't know what the heck they're going to do, because I have the old sled, like, you know, that sled that we have that I do kind of like the sled drags on with the TRX cord.
Yeah.
It's the width of this, where the new sled is the width of this. It's that extra like 1 to 2 inches of less width, and that less surface space makes a huge difference. And I just have no clue what the hell is going to happen, because you're going to have to change your training even predominantly more to running than you do functional fitness.
Yeah, I know it's a bit of a gamble, I think, them rolling it out at World Championships. Actually, I don't think it's really fair that people don't get to test it. I mean, I'm sure neutrals think it's more exciting, but ultimately Hyrox is trying to find the fittest athlete on the planet. And a large component of that is who's the strongest and who has that real strength endurance. When we first started getting into the sport, and, you know, I was probably a year after you, the sleds were the separator. They were the divider between like a runner and somebody who was just super strong in the weight room. And like you say, now it's just about, okay, if you're a super good runner, then these sleds are moving so fast that you can take your time, get your breath back, and just they're not going to do so much damage early on in the race. So guys like Pleo, who are, I don't know how much Pleo weighs, but you know, it's certainly going to be favoring good runners like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where it's going to go. So we'll see.
If the sport changed a ton and became so much faster with the sleds going, would you still be as interested?
No, it happened in OCR. It happened in OCR and Spartan race. Like Spartan European races used to be fairly heavy, like 30 kilo chain carries. like heavy D-ball carries, although it was only 20 yards there and back. It was like, again, a good separator where someone like myself could make up places, on cross-country runners. We don't need another endurance, like skinny John Albon type, just crushing everybody. No offense to John Albon, he's an incredible athlete, but I'm beating that guy in a Hyrox, just because he weighs 65 kilos and he shouldn't be able to move the sleds if they're the appropriate weight. But Hyrox ultimately are going to do what they're going to do. I think a long time ago they kind of checked out about the athlete experience, and it became a huge investment, spectacle and opportunity for everyone who wants to make money within that sport. I don't think they really care about the elite 15 and age group runners. They care about the general public showing up and repeating races. And how do you repeat races? Well, you see your PB get faster, and that's what we've seen over the last years, is that certain courses are just fast. And I know it's this thing where everyone thinks you're moaning, but I kind of have the inside scoop on Hyrox a little bit, and it only takes someone to sort of push the barriers in 5 feet on 4 corners. All of a sudden your lap times improving by 20 seconds. Times that, by 8 kilometers, you've got a 2-minute fast course. So, it is one of those things. Hopefully they get it right. But, we'll see.
I'll show this video, dude. This is one of the last great races of Spartan Race before they changed the brand. So this is Palmerton. This mountain right here, guys, was literally, dude, that's Ryan Kent, by the way, with a ponytail. Do you see that?
Who's in the vest? Is that Killian?
Yeah. That's Killian up front. That's Rob. That's Rob. Why am I getting this name wrong? Okay, that's Kent. That's VJ. I don't think I'm in this race here, but if you keep on watching, I think that's Hobie Call in the back there. This is the season that Hobie Call went undefeated and then ended up having like a dental problem and ended up kind of bombing near the end of the season. There's Ryan Atkins in the back. Like, dude, this is, by the way, straight up. It is straight up. Like one of the craziest courses. There's Angel from Mexico. So brutal, like backbreaking. Yeah. And these used to be the courses that they used to put people through and some of the obstacles. I think they come up here and they show the most recent race of us competing against each other. You want to see Skinny Hunter back in the day? Watch this shit. These are the good days. Look how tiny I was. I was a little boy. Dude, do you remember Johnny Lulima? I was so drunk during this interview, by the way. Dude, this was such a cool sport. So we used to have to fill up your buckets. Then all of a sudden, to make it cheaper and easier, dude, they pre-filled the buckets half empty and put a cap on them and everything like that. I'll try to see if we can find a video of like the things that they had called ape hangers that were just insane. But near the end of the career, dude, they started taking out obstacles that were hard and just making everything so that you could get more and more people through it.
Yeah, it was more a logistics thing, right? Because they had to get obstacles to the top of the mountains. So they started cherry picking which ones they wanted to do because they worked out the cost, the cost benefit ratio of moving like an A-frame on top of a mountain versus just putting some stuff in the village that's, at sea level. Yeah,
dude. It changed a shit ton, man. I miss it so much. These things are so much fun. Hobie was just a fucking tank. That was like literally the best guy to ever hit this sport, I think. Just overall talent and his abilities. I really miss racing like this. But I think, dude, there's a good chance that may happen when these sleds hit, the turf hits. If it changes, dude, all of a sudden, I think we're in a position where, you're going to watch the sport just drop drastically. And in my mind, I will have lost. It would be like almost like CrossFit if you had taken like the heavy weightlifting out and kind of kept all the barbells around like 135 to 185. I think a big part of the reason why that sport got like really cool and sexy was you were watching these kind of like really fit all around athletes all of a sudden put on like 3 colorful plates and snatch it or clean it overhead. And like the clean ladders, you remember those things in the arenas where they would just like do ladder.
Yeah.
It was like the most like electric part of the sport.
Yeah.
I really wonder what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah, I think it'll lose its credibility as well amongst CrossFitters, because obviously they're getting into the sport and they've got, great engines and great strength, but they're still not going to be able to catch like a pure half marathoner. Like if you're like, say, a guy that goes to CrossFit 5 times a week, more maybe, and you'll come up against a guy that can just run a 1:10 half marathon, you got no shot. No shot if those sleds are heavy.
If it went south, would you go and compete in something like this? Have you heard of the Athex games?
Yeah. I got a lot of friends doing Athex at the moment. It's the next thing that's really going to blow up. I believe they just did a deal with Adidas and big contract there, so they certainly believe in it. And now there's events all over the UK, and yeah, I think March On are involved. They change the workouts every season. There's individual, there's doubles, there's mixed. There's that element of strength, then endurance, and metcons as well. So yeah, it seems like they've got the formula down, and they'll get like a ton of spin-off from people not getting tickets from Hyrox anyway. And then if you service those people, kind of like customer service, and kind of give them a great experience, then they could really do something in the next 18 months, 2 years.
It's interesting. So you got the 5 rep back squat, the strict press. I think these are good lifts. We like those kind of bro lifts. I like this. Is this the same thing? This is pro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Pretty good. 12-minute distance bike and run, and then all of a sudden, Metcon zone. Synchro burpees. What the fuck? Oh, this is pairs, individuals. You got thrusters, box jump overs. Why does this keep on saying synchro burpees?
If you're doing it in doubles, maybe.
Well, it says individual.
Oh.
This is kind of like this is kind of almost going after TMX. You can't find videos of TMX anymore. Tough Mudder X. It was like this thing. Did you ever try to apply for this?
We were just hoping it was going to come to the UK, and it just, Tough Mudder folded a couple of years later, right, just before COVID. So when was TMX? Like 2017, 2018, right?
Yeah, this has to be probably my favorite event that I've ever competed in.
100%.
Like there was some, you saw that taunting and everything like that. There used to be like just
bunch of shit talking.
It used to be a little bit more zest. It was a really, really fun event. I'd like to see more of this stuff kind of come back in the market. I mean, dude, you've been around, and I've said this like a bunch of times. When I talk to people, like I've had a bunch of companies reach out to me, and they're like, what do you think is going to happen with Hyrox? Like, we're planning on investing in this market and everything. I basically have been a part, and you've been a part of 3 sports basically dying. Tough Mudder, Spartan race, and CrossFit. And inside of those things, there's been all these smaller markets like OCR, WC, and what was the name of that really cool race that you guys used to have out in the UK and in Europe that was an OCR kind of event?
Oh, what, the original Tough Guy?
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, homemade obstacles, kind of tetanus shot before you start. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of business. That's kind of the world we live in. Anything that grows too fast, too quick, turns to shit. Because it can't look after the experience that you originally signed up for. I mean, I think Hyrox is doing a great job. Like their expansion and their global reach now is truly incredible. And we truly are going to find out who the fittest people on the planet are, which is great. Having said that, we've got price increase. You and I have heard all the different kind of rumors about certain inside changes that can be made, and then you're thinking about the sleds and kind of do a different qualifying category, and it's not cheap for athletes to fly around the world doing burpees. It doesn't pay the bills. So then you're heavily reliant on sponsors, and people have to take kind of fast money, and people kind of just lose interest a little bit if they're not getting looked after. And then you've got all your personal trainers that drive this sport to their own gyms and their own clients. If they're unable to get tickets, forget about it, because then you're not competing against like who you want to compete against. Most people want a rivalry or some competition. Like I just looked at the pro race in Paris. Nobody there. I know it was a big Elite 15 doubles weekend, but the fastest time, was an hour. So because you've got so many races going on, it kind of diminishes a little bit of that competitive, arena, let's say. And I think once you have like 50, 60, 70 races per annum, then you do kind of worry about like standardization and kind of, fast courses and stuff. And because it's natural, you see people like PBing by 4 minutes, like 3-4 weeks apart in a race. And you're like, what the hell's going on here? You're doing all this work and you're not getting the rewards. So I think, then the credibility, like certain movements and stuff and all that stuff, they just have to be very careful about how they come across, because they're creating a global brand, which means there's no hiding place. They're going to take criticism every time they make a post. So they have to keep on kind of servicing the experience and trying to make it better. You've got the electronic scoreboards now that, let's be honest, that was an absolute shit show at World Champs. And, like what happened just to a girl or guy just there counting reps on one knee, getting it done, So we'll see where it all ends up. But yeah, I don't want it to die. It'll be interesting to see if it's got more than like 5 years from this point. But we'll see.
Just going to let you know, Noel Radigan right here said he thought this was jock talk. Where's the other jock? He just jabbed you straight at the knees, my friend.
Is this Noel? Is this Noel that gets tired doing like 6 to 7 burpees consecutively?
Yeah. I know the guys have been asking about seeing some horse videos. So, guys, I'm just going to blast out some quick horse videos right here. Now, normally I don't like to spread violence, but watch this dude getting absolutely mollywopped by a horse.
Oh, I saw this.
Dude, you can't trust a damn horse. How many bones do you think are broken in this dude's body? Pelvis for sure. Dude, if you think about it, that horse right there has got to be 1,000 pounds straight to the cock bone.
Dude, he almost bounced.
Yeah, I mean the horse gets
up. It's like a suplex. It's like a suplex.
Hold on, let's just slow this thing down for a second here. I'm gonna pause it. So for some reason, Alfredo Vallejo, I'm assuming that's either the name of the horse or the guy who gets killed. They've got the horse blindfolded here, and it appears that the sport is how long can you survive on a horse that's just been released from his blindfold? 1, 2, dead.
No time.
No time. And then this, guys, I've told you many times, you never approach a horse from the front or the back, because from the back, they'll kick the fuck out of you. From the front, you'll have vicious teeth. Horse can't be trusted. The only thing that you can ever approach a horse with it will treat tenderly with is apples and carrots. Other than that, they love to eat human flesh.
Yeah.
I've been on this for years, and people just don't listen. And last but not least, dude,
about all the animals.
I've been following. It appears that I tried to find a bunch of videos. There's another video that I got to find in my notes, but I always kind of find these interesting cultures, and it always seems like it's in Asia where they're really into horse wrestling. Yeah, this one right here. Look at this. Like it's a sport of horse wrestling. So sometimes these guys will wrestle the horses, and sometimes they let the horses wrestle themselves. So I'm assuming it's like cockfighting for horses. But look at that guy in the center just getting mangled.
No shot.
Oh, yeah, dude. No. I've been warning you guys.
I mean, back in my youth, I believe it was 2008, I did the running of the bulls in Pamplona in Spain. So you go to this festival and you basically stay up all night drinking wine through a bag. And then you wake up at like 7 a.m. and you run through the streets of Pamplona, getting chased by 6 large bulls and 6 large cows, all with horns on. And then if you make it as far as the arena, like me and my friend did, then they release another 12 to 15 mini bulls that only weigh about 300 to 400 kilos. And then you literally bullfight them by dodging out the way. It's the most terrifying experience of my life to this day. I saw a bunch of people lose arms, legs by getting trampled on.
Like done? Like gone?
Like done, like completely torn off. Yeah. Like
what? You watched that? You
I saw a guy
missing arms.
Saw a missing arm. So this guy is from Australia, and we were literally shooting the shit before about how fun this was going to be, and just he was all the way from Australia, I was from London, and we were just crazy for doing this. And then he had very distinct features, Australian kind of surfer hair and stuff, and I recognized like tattoos on his body. And the next time I saw him, he was getting helped into an ambulance with his entire arm missing. And he'd been trampled on. And I watched the video back because you can watch all the YouTube videos. Yeah. So, you get a bull land on your like rotator cuff, it's gone.
This is why I pump the beef, dude. If the bull kicked me, the bull would cry.
Well, the idea is to get like bull hair. So the whole point of it is that 3 generations of man, the son, the father, and the grandfather, you're trying to get bull hair out of the bulls so that you can prove your masculinity and manhood to other generations. And I have some bull hair back in a jar somewhere in my apartment. It's been a while.
I've been in that apartment. I've never seen that jar. We're gonna need to run this back and see if we can actually pull it off, dude. So check this out.
I mean, we'll do it again.
This dude right here, his name is Jake Catterall, and he literally ran the length of the Alps. So it looks like he started down here at the base and he worked his way all the way around, which is got to be one of the sickest trips you could ever imagine. Homeboy did 2,001 kilometers, 110,000 meters of climbing. And he did it, and I don't even know how to do the math on that, but dude, 8-minute kilometers is not that slow for that kind of progress.
Absolute freak of nature.
Do you have any, dude? I mean, I don't know how to do the math. It says 35 days.
Kid is moving.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know. If we look this guy up, I want to know what he's really about. He's a 2-time world record holder. It's always interesting, dude, when you see people like this, like they're the least assuming people. Like if you met Kilian Jornet, like you in a town, you wouldn't be like, that's the greatest person to ever cross the mountains in the world.
Yeah.
And this guy right here as well, like you look at him and, he could work at a gas station. He could, there's nothing that impressive. Dude, have you looked at Jim Wam? Have you looked up what he's got going on and the race that they have coming up in Western states?
No.
Do you pay attention to Western states at all?
No, very few. I mean, I see when Jim Wallace, he just bashes out like a ridiculous 50K time or 100K time. Didn't do it in like 5 hours or something.
Yeah, I mean the dude's the gift to earth. I mean he's going up against Kilian Jornet and a couple other like big name guys, David Roche. Like I think this is truly going to be one of the greatest ultra marathons in the history of time. It'd be like Boston Marathon if like Kipchoge and like all the greats just showed up. Yeah. It would be the race. It'd be even in Hyrox, like it'd be like a world championship, like if everybody who's ever been great shows up at the same time. Because in this sport, it doesn't seem like they ever race on the same course. It always seems like they've got too much going on. This is the first time a lot of the greats have come head to head on this thing. So I'm like super pumped about it. I was going to see if I got some other show notes. Did you pay attention to Paris-Roubaix at all? And that was Van der Poel just getting past Pogacar right here. Had a little bit of a crash.
I mean, I didn't see. I heard about the result, but those streets and those cobbles. I mean, I'd never do that. Just hammering along those roads on tiny little bike tires
Yeah.
in a pack. It's one thing doing it in like a time trial format, but when they do it in a peloton, you know someone's just going to snap their collarbone, and that's it. Your season's done.
I'm personally a Vanderpool fan. I don't know why. He just seems more like a badass. Pogacar, to me, I don't know why I don't value it as much. Like, he just seems like a little boy. This guy seems like a warrior. And he's definitely had his ass handed to him a couple times with Pogacar, but he's also gave it right back. It's such an insanely sick sport, though. I think it's got to be the toughest sport in the world.
Yeah. Did you see Pogacar's interview where he was talking about holding like zone 2 for kind of 5 hours and, outputting more than like 300 and something watts. I forget how many watts it was for like 5 hours. And just like, yeah, that's my zone 2. Did you see that interview?
Yeah, I did. I don't understand. Like, is it just because it costs him so little? Max? Yeah. Does it cost him so little energy to do it? Like, I guarantee if you ask these guys to come do a Hyrox, like, can't. Like, I interviewed this dude. Is it? Come on. Bill, where is it? There we go. I interviewed this guy a little while ago, and he's the hill climbing world champion. And I'll try to see if I can find the video. I asked him how many pull-ups he was able to get, and he can only get 6. But this guy can hold 400 watts for 50 minutes. And I'm like, how is that possible if this dude can only get 6 chin-ups?
Yeah, he doesn't even have like, kind of those crazy thighs that a lot of cyclists have. He just has like pistons and an engine. He's just so efficient at like dealing with lactic acid, Yeah,
but that's kind of Pogacar. That's all these guys. And unfortunately, this is going to be Hyrox in like 2 years.
Don't say that.
It's 100% going to be Hyrox in 2 years, man. I'm telling you,
no one's buying those photos. That photo package after, you're going to see a steep drop off.
Yeah, dude. I think this is going to be what we're going to end up seeing in 2 years, because in reality, if it changes and if it gets like lighter than it is right now, man, it's going to die. Like, it will fall into that position. And this is what I think Hyrox should really be. This guy flipped down this hill while drinking a beer, standing up and walking away. That's a hero.
Do you ever see those guys type in like cheese wheel chase? This is still the gnarliest sport that goes on, and it's not even a sport; it's a pastime. But if you search, like, I think it's down in Devon on the west coast of the UK, people running after a giant wheel of cheese down a mountain, and it's just like one pack. I don't know if you'll be able to find anything, but like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can look at it. What the fuck? Who is this person? What is this? Some strangers calling me. Let's see here. Chase cheese. Oh, here we go.
You got it?
Yeah, we got it.
Like, I think certain races have certain things where you have to down a bunch of cider before as well. So you're just kind of drunk doing this. I mean, it's the only way you would do it, I guess, but it's gnarly. Like, there's just no fucking way you could get me to do this sport. People are just snapping bones. Look at there we go.
I mean, it is a death. Look at this guy on the far right. Not even attempting to be an athlete.
Yeah.
I wish we had. Did we? Like, I think I could literally create sports like this in Crestline. Yeah. This would be the dream. Let's try to get these guys back.
I mean,
around here.
did you
There's
see
this
that
one
guy?
chick. Do you
He's
see
just-
that one chick? Look at this chick. She's like, why did I do this?
I mean, fair fucking play for even attempting it, but people are just bouncing down
I
a
bet
mountain.
you, though, this might be one of these kind of things where the grass is soft enough that the homies can just bounce.
Come on, bro. It's full of like holes as well.
Oh, God, it is brutal. It appears that this guy is the Chase the Cheese champion. Looks like this.
He's pulling himself
Wow.
out. He's upright.
Well, he had it. How I won the most dangerous sport in the world. This is pretty dope.
Yeah. Told you.
Dude, look at that
Look at
guy
the
in
crowd.
the hat. Oh, no. Why can't we get crowds like this for Hyrox? There he is. There he is.
And then
He's got
have
a
dude
freaking,
have
like, look at
There
that.
it
He's
goes.
got the yellow bib
They're up.
on so that he can get people paying attention to him. Wow, dude. That
Look
is
how he-
sports. That
he
is
just-
technique. Dude, did you see the violence of his
Yeah.
head balancing? Oh, full contact sport. He's up. What do you think you win? Like all
get
the
the
babes
cheese.
in town?
That's it. You probably get
What?
the cheese wheel, and I guess you don't have to pay for a beer that night. And people just shaking hands with you in the street.
Homeboy's claiming that he's done the wheel chase race 3 times. Don't
All right,
lie
David.
to us, man. He comes to our show all the time. Give us some details, maybe some videos. This is a lactate.
Do you want to see
intolerant version?
the race that I did, the running of the bulls in Pamplona?
Did you have a video of it? What the
It's
fuck
on well,
is
it's on
this?
YouTube, the one I was in.
Dude,
Yeah.
hold on. I wanted to
Just
show
put,
you
like
something, though.
Pamplona. Hey Tito, do you have a charger? Like
What?
my laptop.
What do you want me to type in?
I mean, I've got 20%. Running of the Bulls, Pamplona, 2008. Let's go around there.
God dang.
I don't have one that's that long.
Just a USB-C.
All right, here we go. July 8th.
July 1st, 2008.
Is this it?
There'll be a bunch of different ones, but they'll probably... Yeah, this is it. So they released them.
That's you
so
in the
they get
back,
chased up
George,
the
chasing
road.
the bulls?
That's not me. That guy's got the easy job. And then
Wow, you
all
can
the crowd's
definitely tell
waiting
the
for it.
bulls in the back are a little bit smaller. Oh,
And then everyone has to just start running away from them. So I'm in there somewhere wearing a white suit. Thanks, buddy. Yeah,
fuck, dude. Those horns, man. If that got your ass.
I'm telling you, yeah. There's a dead 90-degree turn, and normally the bulls don't make it, and they slide on the streets. Sometimes a bull will turn around and just start running back into the crowd, which is the most terrifying thing, because then the people just get lit up.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
You're trying
idea
to
of a
run
bull is
alongside
just a
them and grab the
crazy
bull,
idea,
man.
dude. It's just a meat wagon, like basically a small truck with 2 stabbing
Yeah.
horns.
dude, it's like getting hit by a Mini Cooper at 30 miles an hour.
Dude, have you ever seen that thing of what they used to do back in like Greek times where if you like were being punished, they'd put you in that bowl and cook you slowly over time?
I've not seen that.
Oh,
Wait till it gets
dude.
to the arena. It should, like, as it gets closer. So people are running for their lives here. The guys that are like the heroes are literally directly in front of the bulls, and they're just running. But the problem is, you can see everyone starts looking behind them, and then obviously, if everyone's
worst thing
doing
you can
that,
do?
no one pays attention to what's happening in front.
Oh, that dude just got plowed to the ground.
Yeah, bye.
Ooh, that's dead. That's death right there,
Yeah.
dude. That is death.
Yeah.
So-
you get ushered into here, right? And if you make it, then they get pushed on through, and then little bulls get released.
But is this considered like a chapter of victory just to get right here?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh.
I mean, they have this festival for 7 days in a row, and every July.
So in closing here, we didn't really talk about training camp at all. We were kind of just shooting the shit, which I love to do. But I mean, dude, some of the things is like you've been kind of growing up in sport and everything like that. Now that you're in your ripe ages of 40s, like, would you say that you feel fit and strong in comparison, or do you feel things are changing? What have you learned over time?
Quality over quantity, for sure. Emphasis on recovery. Like if you get a couple of bad nights sleep in a row and then try to do a strength session, I mean, you're toast. So sleep is absolutely gold. You remember the hangovers more intricately than the nights out. So if you go out and you go for it.
We haven't drank at all since you've been here.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, though, you're like sort of saying, what have I learned as a 41-year-old athlete? Obviously, I still like a beer, but you just pay for it so much heavily than you do in your 20s. Like, I used to go out, drink 7 beers, a couple of shots, wake up in the morning, shake it off, go train. No big deal. Now, that would put me out of the game for maybe 5-6 days. So you just become a lot more sensitive.
You survived yesterday's session. That was really, really hard. 8x4, and then afternoon, the power hour session.
Yeah, we were pushing. I felt good. I said to you, like, it just takes me a little while to get adapted a little bit. The flight is a killer when you come out here. So, all the time changes, all the circadian rhythm changes. You're kind of waking up in the middle of the night. You're hot, you're cold. Your whole bowel movement's off. Everything just changes. So it takes like 3 or 4 days to get your head around that. And then you start accruing volume again. So I think ultimately quality over quantity, you got to do the small things. Like I know you went to bed last night at 9:30 and I probably went to bed at about 10:45. So
wow.
that's poor. I know.
Just dragging ass. And I got into the ice bath. And I had my recovery zone. You in your ripe old age with your gray hairs, just kind of screw yourself.
I'm gonna have to wing it today. I'm gonna have to wing it down that mountain when finally the smog / cloud clears. But yeah, I mean, I believe in training camps, and I believe in various stages throughout the year where you should accrue like more volume than you want to. That's how you create that overload and adaptation stimulus response. You can't just do everything you want to do all the time. You have to go hard for various parts. But next week when I'm back home, I'm going to have to deload slightly and just get my feet back under me from before I push again for Berlin. So quality over quantity.
So just so we can hold you accountable as a team, what are your big goals over the next 3 months?
I got to break sub 65 pro. That's the big thing. That's like a number that I've just been looking at for a while and thinking, yeah, it's definitely a big test for me, but it's also something I think I can do. So yeah, I kind of lost my passion for Hyrox for like a year and a half, where I was just kind of showing up to races just for more of a social aspect and just doing the doubles here and there. And, we did the Ironman and then that took a while to get over. But now the last 6 months, I've just made a promise that I'm going until I get this time. So, yeah, it'll be a great day when I don't have to do another fucking burpee or lunge ever again. I'll be like, peace out, Hyrox, I'm done.
You should just get into trail racing with me again. I'm fully back into it, dude. I did that half marathon the other day in the trails, and I was like, this is it. I miss this so much. I was saying this before, dude. We used to do so many things throughout the season. I've always been a multi-sport athlete, and in the past 12 to 16 months, it's just been hyper focused on things like Hyrox, and all of a sudden you lose that excitement. And I think having a diverse schedule, obviously you're never going to become the very, very best version of yourself unless you do create some focus. But I think in a sport like this, where there's so many different angles of it, you can take parts of the year and be like, I'm going to work really hard on my running. I'm going to work really hard on my CrossFit. Then all of a sudden you narrow things down. Even an Ironman can find a way of just increasing increasing your capacity. So I don't know. I say for you, as soon as you get that 65 in, dude, go out and do like 2 or 3 other sports and then come right back around and get yourself a 63.
I mean, I know that's how it works. You get addicted to that time and stuff. We'll see. I've got to break 65, so 64, 59 would be nice. And then, we'll take a break for a couple of months and then see. I want to have a go at Affex, a couple other things. I've got my own training camp to worry about in October where we're all going to Tenerife. So I've got like 15, 16 people coming out to train for a week with me in the sunshine, put them through their paces. Yeah. We've gone bougie this time. The hybrid project.
Are you going to be having any more spots available for that? Can you give some description before we get out of here?
We got about 4 or 5 spots left. We've gone super bougie, so we've got 6 people to their own private villa. We got your own swimming pool, food, breakfast and dinners included. We go out for lunch every day, but the training camp is unbelievable. It's called Top Training Tenerife. It's right next to the villas. It's like a 2-minute walk. I'm going to introduce everybody to frisbee golf.
Dude, that is the new most manly and amazing sport that we have on the planet, dude. The Crestline Frisbee Golf Course is it's like Augusta. It's a championship level course. Elite athletes have shown up and fallen apart.
It goes hard. I'm just charging my laptop for a second.
It's all good. Boys and girls, we're out of here. We got to go hit the mountains. Jeremy, it was good seeing you. Team, it was good seeing you. I got to bounce. George, put your shoes on. We're going down that mountain.
Can't wait.
See you guys.